Martina Anderson, Sinn Fein MEP here in the European Parliament. Yesterday, Michel Barnier came forward with his draft text for a withdrawal agreement. Are you happy with that text?
Well, I am glad to see that Michel Barnier has proposed to give legal effect to what amounts to designated special status for the North to remain within the EU on the element of the custom union and some elements of the single market, and also to give legal standing and effect to the European Court of Justice for the North. So all of that is what we have been arguing is required and necessary, because you can't have a divergence and two different arrangements on the island where part of the island is in the EU and part of the island is out of the EU. The Good Friday Agreement and Brexit is incompatible with the Good Friday Agreement. If we were to have the kind of a hard Brexit or the soft chewy Brexit or whatever kind of Brexit that people are talking about with regards to Britain, we need a differentiated arrangements for the north of Ireland, and that is what Michel Barnier has proposed. That is what the Council and the Commission and the Parliament said that it would do, protect the Good Friday Agreement in all of its parts, and it's what the actual British government said that it would do too.
Are you surprised then that Theresa May has already rejected this draft?
Well, at the time when the joint report was in the 8th of December, when that was signed, we had advocated caution because we said that perfidious Albion will raise its head. And I think that's what we heard yesterday in the House of Commons. Theresa May in December agreed 3 options. One, the preferred option, that there would be an agreement between Britain and the EU, a withdrawal agreement, a sensible withdrawal agreement. Of course, that hasn't happened because they've had a chaotic negotiation. 2, failing that, if it didn't happen, that she would bring forward specific proposals for the North to ensure there would be no hardening of the border in Ireland. She didn't do that. And 3rd, she agreed, failing to do A and B, that the backstop would come into play. And that's what has happened. So she agreed that on the 8th of December. And of course, no sooner had the ink dried and what she had agreed when David Davis said, oh, but that's only statement of intent. He then rolled back from that. And the Parliament in recital P, that I was very keen to see in the Parliament resolution, stated if Britain wanted to move into phase 2 of the negotiation, the future arrangement, which we all want to see happen, that it had to fully and faithfully honour the commitments it made on the 8th of December. And that's what yesterday was about.
We're going to approach a very difficult moment where the UK will have to choose between a withdrawal agreement and or a messy or disorderly withdrawal where there will be no transition agreement. Do you think this will concentrate minds? And do you think the UK has got proposals up its sleeve that will address the issues that you've outlined, the protections within the Good Friday Agreement, a soft border or a non-existent invisible border?
I think the British government and its cabinet is in chaos. And I think it's had a chaotic negotiation process. And I have said for many, many months that any impartial observer analysing what was happening would have to draw a conclusion and suggest, as I am doing, that the intent from the British government has always been for many months, or for elements within the British government, I should say, the Brexiteers, to go over a cliff and to take the North with it. What we have to do, what I have to do, is to stand up for and protect the community and that I represent, the people of Ireland who have sent me here, and also the thousands of people who voted in north, south, east and west of Ireland to preserve and protect the Good Friday Agreement, that at the time when it was put forward in referendum in the north and south, it was overwhelmingly voted for. So what we have to do is, regardless of all that chaos that's going on, and God knows we've had some commentary from what can only be described like Boris Johnson as a babbling buffoon, during the week with regards to comparing the border in Ireland to borders in London boroughs, just absolute nonsense and chaos, offensive and worrying that these are the people that are supposed to be negotiating for you.
Next week, we're going to have Mary Lou, leader of your party, Sinn Féin, but Michelle O'Neill, who would be the Deputy First Minister if there was a Northern Irish Assembly in place, and Arlene Foster coming over to Brussels, not together though. In the past, when Martin McGuinness was in that role, we saw Arlene Foster and Martin McGuinness working very closely together and indeed writing a letter requesting a unique solution. Is that bipartisan approach, is that possible without a Northern Irish Assembly in place?
It's certainly possible if you capture the goodwill, the intent of Sinn Fein to have an assembly that is going to deliver for all of the people in the north and all of the people of Ireland. It's not possible if we're going to have a leader of another party, a large party in the north of Ireland, wanting an assembly that's only going to deliver on creed and not on need. What Martin McGuinness did when he brought down the assembly was to set the standard that is needed for good, clean governance. And that is what we intend to do, to deliver on the task that Martin has set for us so that we deliver for the people that we represent, whether they vote for us or not.